Have you ever just laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering, why do I know exactly what I need to do, yet still can't start? You set your alarm for 6 a.m., but hit snooze until 8. You write a big to-do list, but don't cross off a single thing. You promise yourself, today will be different. But by the end of the day, all you feel is regret. And then that feeling creeps in. Disappointment, frustration, and worst of all, helplessness, like you're stuck in your own life, watching it slip by. People might look at you and say you're lazy, but I don't believe that. Because the truth is, no one wants to live a stagnant life. The problem isn't you, it's the invisible systems controlling you every day. Your habits, your environment, and the way your brain works. Things no one ever taught you to understand. This video isn't about turning you into some productivity machine. It's about helping you step by step escape the cycle you feel trapped in. If you've ever felt like you're alive but not really moving forward, then this video is for you. And if you find value in this message, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm here to help you become better than the you of yesterday. What causes us to become lazy? Have you ever sat there knowing exactly what you need to do, but just couldn't start? You're not tired. You're not busy. You're just stuck. And then you start asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Am I really lazy? But what if I told you, you're not lazy at all? You're simply caught in a system that's wired against you. You see, our brains weren't born to cultivate discipline. They were born to survive. So they crave comfort, pleasure, and quick rewards. That's why it's so easy to scroll through your phone. But opening that book feels like climbing a mountain. Your brain wants dopamine now, not later. And the truth is, the things that really matter in life, they don't give instant results. They take time. They take patience. And your brain hates that. But that's not all. You procrastinate because your goals are too vague. Be more productive means nothing to your brain, but sit down at 7 a.m. and study English for 30 minutes is something it can understand. The vaguer the goal, the more your mind will freeze. And sometimes the issue is fear. Fear of starting, fear of failure, fear of not doing it perfectly. So instead of diving in, you delay, you scroll, you tell yourself, tomorrow. But let me tell you this. Willpower isn't the real problem. The real enemy is your environment. Your phone, always within reach. Your cluttered space, a lack of structure. All of these things subtly pull you away from what truly matters. Most of us don't need more motivation. We need a better system. Because action shouldn't depend on mood. It should depend on habit. You don't wait for inspiration to brush your teeth every morning, right? So why should other important tasks be any different? So here's the thing. You're not lazy. You're simply living in a system where your brain naturally resists discomfort, fears failure, and craves instant pleasure. But once you understand this, you'll stop blaming yourself and start designing a life where you're no longer fighting against yourself. How to overcome laziness. 1. Make everything easier. Have you ever felt that you keep procrastinating on the things you need to do because they seem too big, too difficult, or simply too vague? Sometimes, when we look at a task, it feels so overwhelming that we don't even know where to begin. But then, there's one simple strategy that can change everything. Try applying the 2-minute rule. Start with the easiest version of the task. It sounds simple, right? That's because it is. And that's what makes it so effective. For example, instead of thinking, I have to study English for 2 hours today, just think, I only need to open the book and read 1 page. That's it, just 1 page. And then you'll find yourself easily reading another page, then another. And suddenly, an hour has passed, and you didn't feel pressured or overwhelmed at all. You're no longer stopped by the fear of starting. You're just starting. Sometimes, tasks only need to be broken down into smaller parts so that you don't feel like it's too much. Instead of thinking, I need to clean the whole house, just begin with, I'll clean this one small corner. And once you start, you'll find that the rest of the house follows. It's a small action that leads to a bigger momentum. This rule isn't just for studying or cleaning. It can change how you approach any task in life. Because when you start with a small step, you create a feeling of accomplishment right from the beginning. And it's these small wins that lead to bigger changes. So, instead of sitting there thinking about how you'll tackle everything, just start with 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes will make everything feel easier. And in the end, you'll realize that nothing is as hard as it seems once you break it down. 2. Set up a supportive environment. Imagine your day begins with you waking up and your phone lying right next to your bed. The screen lights up with notifications from social media, messages, emails, and just one tap and you'll easily get lost in an endless scroll. Time passes by, and you realize you haven't done anything productive. But the truth is, discipline isn't about self-control. It's about designing your environment. And if you can design an environment without distractions, you'll naturally have more chances to focus and be productive. Let's try a simple strategy. Put your phone away from the room. You don't have to give up your phone entirely, but keeping it in a place that's not within easy reach will significantly reduce the chances of you scrolling through social media all day. This way, you'll take control of your time, instead of letting technology control you. Next, try hanging a calendar on the wall or putting notes in front of you. The goals and tasks you need to complete will no longer be vague. They'll become tangible images right in front of you. You won't be able to ignore them so easily. Every time you look at those notes, you'll feel a gentle push to get things done, and you won't want to procrastinate any longer. Remember, discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do hard things. It's about designing an environment where everything around you supports your goals. For example, if you want to work out regularly, place your sneakers next to your bed and have your workout clothes ready. When you wake up, you won't have to think about whether to exercise or not because everything is already set up. You just need to take action. Your environment can be a powerful tool to help you maintain discipline without constantly fighting yourself. Design it so that every little element, no matter how small, supports you in completing tasks and achieving goals. When you do this, laziness will no longer be a problem. You'll find it much easier to move forward, taking small but steady steps every day. 3. Instant gratification. Rewards. Imagine this. You've just finished a small task, maybe cleaning your desk, learning a new lesson, or writing a part of an important plan. You feel a little tired, but there's also a sense of satisfaction because you've completed part of your work. So, instead of diving right into the next task, why not treat yourself to something? A small reward, like watching an episode of your favorite show, eating something you love, or even just relaxing with a hot cup of tea. These little rewards don't just make you feel good right away. They also create motivation for you to keep working efficiently. This is an incredibly simple yet effective strategy. Instant gratification rewards. You don't have to wait until the end of the day to feel the joy of completing your tasks. Right after finishing a small task, you can treat yourself. When you do this, your brain will link task completion with feelings of joy, making you more eager to finish tasks each day. And you know what? Our brains love that sense of satisfaction. They release dopamine, a chemical that creates feelings of pleasure and contentment whenever you accomplish something. Imagine doing this every day. Finish a small task and get an instant reward. Your brain will start to connect productive actions with pleasure, and gradually, work won't feel like a burden. It will be part of a chain of small joys. Each time you finish a task, not only will you feel satisfied for completing it, but you'll also feel motivated to tackle the next challenge. Try this today, and you'll notice the change. The rewards don't need to be huge. They're just small joys you create for yourself. When you feel the pleasure of completing a task, you'll find that laziness is no longer an issue. Each day, you'll naturally create motivation to move forward. 4. Systemize instead of relying on inspiration. You know what really makes us lazy? It's not that we're weak or lack willpower. It's that we keep waiting for inspiration. We tell ourselves that we need to feel motivated, fired up, ready to go before we can start. But inspiration is unpredictable. It comes and goes like the wind, here today, gone tomorrow, and if you keep waiting for it, you might end up stuck in place forever. The solution isn't to try to feel more inspired, it's to stop needing inspiration at all. Build a system. 1. Where you don't have to decide every day, where you don't need to battle your own mind. You just follow the plan. Wake up at 6 a.m. Read at 6:30. Hit the gym after work. Repeat. When you do the same thing at the same time every day, your brain starts to accept it as a natural part of life, just like brushing your teeth or washing your face. And if building a new habit still feels hard, there's a simple trick that works like magic: habit stacking, linking a new habit to something you already do. After making coffee, write in your journal for 5 minutes. After brushing your teeth, read 2 pages of a book. After doing the dishes, study a new language for 15 minutes. You're not starting from scratch, you're just adding a small action onto something familiar. It feels easy, effortless, and slowly you'll realize you no longer need to wait for inspiration. You just do it. Laziness doesn't disappear overnight, but it fades when you act consistently, with structure and intention. Success doesn't come from bursts of passion. It comes from the days you show up, even when you don't feel like it. 5. Forgive yourself when you stumble. Don't let a single stumble make you give up. Don't let one lazy day turn into a whole week of procrastination. Everyone will have moments where they fall, miss a beat, or fail to complete what they planned. And that's okay. No one is perfect. No one keeps their discipline 100% of the time. But the difference between successful people and those who quit isn't in how many times they stumble, but in how they react after each fall. You might stumble one day, 2 days, even 3 days. But the most important thing is, you get back up on day 4. You don't have to start over from scratch. You just pick up where you left off. Gently, without self-blame, without judgment. Forgiving yourself is the first step towards sustaining any long-term journey. Take Min, for example, someone who had built great habits of studying and working out. But one time, Min stumbled for 3 straight days. Instead of blaming himself, instead of saying, "That's it, I'm done," Min simply thought, "I can get back on track." And Min did. No need to feel guilty, no need to be perfect. Just keep going. That's the true power. It's not about never making mistakes, but about not letting one stumble define your entire journey. So, if you've just stumbled, if you're feeling lazy, or if you've missed something, it's okay. Take a deep breath, smile, and get back to it. True discipline begins with forgiveness. Laziness is not your nature. It's simply a consequence of old habits, of choices that weren't right, and a consequence, as you know, can change. If you decide to start today, you don't need to change everything all at once. You don't need to feel intensely inspired. It all starts with the smallest action. Turn off this video, stand up, and choose one thing you know you should do, right now, at this very moment. Don't let laziness steal what you deserve. The life you want doesn't come from inspiration or those days when you feel full of energy. It comes from the small actions you take each day. Your actions today will determine your life tomorrow. And hey, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. It only takes a second, but it helps me continue making videos to motivate and guide you every step of the way. Let's take action together.